Hello everybody, how's it going? In today's video I'm going to be showing off a few recent vinyl finds that I've picked up. But before I get to that, I want to take a little bit of time here to acknowledge some things that my good friend Robert P. has sent me. If you've seen some of the other people in the vinyl community here, in the music community, they've received some things from Robert as well. So maybe you've seen these before, but I just wanted to take this opportunity to show you guys what he had sent me. I believe it was in somebody's live chat. I had mentioned something about Beatles cartoons and things like that, and he had mentioned that he has had all the cartoons, and he was gracious enough to put them all on a flash drive for me, Beatles cartoons. So here we got all 39 episodes of the original 60s Beatles cartoons that were aired here in the United States. I had only seen snippets of them here and there on YouTube over the years, so I've never really seen a whole bunch of those. But that was nice to get this from him, so I was able to see that. And my 4-year-old son is really enjoying them too. He gets excited when I ask him if he wants to watch some Beatles cartoons. He says, yeah, let's watch those. So that was pretty nice. And since he knew that I have a couple younger sons, his grandson grew out of this Sgt Pepper's shirt, so he decided to send that to me. My oldest son is a little bit too big for this, but my younger son will eventually grow into this, so that'll be really nice to have that. Thank you very much for that, Robert. And next, Robert is probably most popular here in the music community for his recreations of different albums and things like that on CD. So he has sent me some of those as well. First up here we have, this is the Beatles, the open-end interviews. Now if you don't know what these are, the Beatles went into the studio, I guess, and recorded some answers to an interview, and then for the record they were sent out to different DJs around the country, and the interviewer asking the questions, those questions were muted, and there's a script included here, so whichever radio station that got this record, the DJ at that station could ask the questions. They're all printed out on a script here, along with all the answers that the Beatles gave. So rather than the Beatles going from radio station to radio station, they could just send this record to the stations and conduct their interviews that way. He always does such a good job of recreating the record labels here. We got the nice capital rainbow label. And then he always includes this nice book here. Got different labels there. So there's interviews for Hard Day's Night, the second album, and Help. There's lots of cool interviews in this on this CD, so it's really fun to listen to those. And then you've probably also seen some of the other guys have been getting the VJ releases on CD from Robert, and he's generously and kindly sent those to me as well. First off, we got the first VJ label, introducing the Beatles, England's #1 vocal group. I do have a copy of this on vinyl, but it's unfortunately a counterfeit because this is a pretty highly counterfeited or bootlegged album. So originally in the early 60s, about 62 or 63, VJ had the rights to the Beatles album, Please Please Me. This is the original back to the album. It's called the Ad Back album cover, and it's got different albums that VJ had released at the time. But basically what this is, you know, the UK version of Please Please Me was 14 tracks. Well, this is basically, in America, we only got 12 tracks on our albums because we're kind of stingy that way. It's basically the Please Please Me album minus the songs Ask Me Why and Please Please Me. But otherwise it's pretty much the same album. And here's the CD. And he has included both stereo and mono of this album here, so that's nice. You get the differences there. And then following that, there was an album called, well, originally it was Jolly What? It's England's greatest recording stars, the Beatles and Frank Ifield on stage. And actually that's kind of some false advertising. These aren't live recordings, they're not on stage, they're studio recordings. But this was kind of cheating the fans of the Beatles a little bit. There's only four songs by the Beatles on here. All the rest are Frank Ifield songs. So this was, if I'm correct, this was the original cover, and then after that they replaced it with this Beatles portrait cover here, and you can see here they got listed right on the front there the 4 Beatles songs that were included, which was basically 2 of their singles. So I haven't had a chance to listen to the Frank Ifield songs, so I'm not sure what those sound like, but I'm working my way through all these CDs and things I'm getting, so I'll get to it eventually. And then after that, they released this album. It's the songs, pictures, and stories of the fabulous Beatles, which, if you look at the track listing, it's identical to Introducing the Beatles. It's just basically a repackaged album, except for 2 songs, Ask Me Why and Please Please Me, that weren't on the first album. They are now on this album, and this one omits the songs Love Me Do and P.S. I Love You. I think I got that right. Originally these came with this 3/4 gatefold sleeve, which is really cool. Did a very good job of replicating that here for this CD. And then inside we got, again, we got the original label reproduced there, and just some information here inside, what songs are included, and some interviews. This is kind of basically geared towards girls or young women at the time. It's kind of got a little bio of each of the guys there. Got some of their likes and dislikes and things like that. And then on the back, they give you the opportunity to place your picture next to the person, the one that you love, and all that sort of stuff. And it says here on the bottom, and for the fellas, tough luck. Then we got, after that, they released another album. This was a double album. It's the International Battle of the Century, the Beatles versus the Four Seasons. So this was a two album set. We had the first album, which again was introducing the Beatles basically. And then the second album was the golden hits of the Four Seasons. So it was those two albums in one here. And on the back you kind of got a little score sheet here where you're supposed to tally up your scores on which group comes out on top, and then you write that on the bottom there. And one thing that's interesting with this, the information for the Beatles stuff here basically is a direct copy of what they included in this album. So they were definitely good at rehashing all the old material and just putting it in a new package. And the cool thing about this one, originally it came with a bonus poster, which Robert has faithfully reproduced here in CD size. And again, here these 4 pictures were from the previous album. You know, you can see those on the side here. So, and here we have the CD again. And lastly, we got the 15 greatest songs of the Beatles, as composed by John, Paul, and George. Ringo didn't have any writing credits, that's why his picture is not included on the cover there. But this isn't actually technically a Beatles album. It's all the songs are sung by a group called the Mersey Boys. band was actually called the Brum Beats, but they've labeled them as the Mersey Boys here, I suppose, to get cash in on that Mersey beat, Liverpool sound. So we got basically a covers album here of Beatles songs. And let's see if we can focus on the tracks there. Got some more ads there for other VJ albums. A little bit of history there. And again, the label there. So that's the gifts I got from Robert P. I just want to thank him again very much for sending that stuff. It's so awesome. These original VJ albums on vinyl are completely out of my price range. I'll probably never be able to afford any of those original copies. They go for crazy money on eBay and Discogs and things like that. So to have them in this format is the next best thing to me. So that's very nice. Thank you very much, Robert. Now moving on to my recent vinyl finds, we'll start off with something kind of completely different, I guess. This is Weezer's Green album from, I want to say, was it 2001? Remember, I had this album on CD when I was in school, or shortly after I got out of school. There's a few of my favorite Weezer songs on here. So that's the first thing I got. And they were having a sale on this album on the same website, so I decided to pick it up. It was Weezer's Blue album. This is the 25th anniversary edition. I believe this one came out in 93 maybe. Yeah, September 1993. You can see the tracks that are included there. I remember the song Buddy Holly on MTV quite a bit. They kind of did a Happy Days music video on MTV. I always enjoyed seeing that. And then there's inside, there's a poster there. And the one thing that's kind of sold me on this album, I enjoy the album quite a bit, but the thing that sold me on it was, well, first of all, they were having a sale on it. It was $5 off, but it was also on colored vinyl, which is very cool. It's got a blue kind of splatter vinyl. So that was pretty awesome. Going back, I'm kind of going back in time here. This was from maybe 3-4 weeks ago. I was in my local Target store that I usually shop at, and they don't have a huge selection of vinyl records there, but they had some, and I noticed that there was quite a few of them were actually on clearance. They had clearance tags on them, so I picked up a couple of those. The first one I got was the Jimi Hendrix Experience Smash Hits. You can see that sticker. I have an original copy of this album, but it's got a different cover art on the front. It's just got a picture of Jimmy by himself on there. And originally I think it included a poster, but I don't have the poster for it. And one thing I like about the Jimi Hendrix vinyl releases is that they put them in these nice kind of MoFi sleeves, which I really like. They're anti-static and things like that. And they got these cool custom labels on them. So I thought that was a pretty good deal, especially for the price that I paid. And the other one I also got at Target was the Stevie Wonder's Original Musicarium 1. This is a double album set. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see all the tracks on there, but there's a really good selection of songs on this double album set. I don't know if I showed the inside here. And 2 albums, it was on clearance for well under $20, so I thought that was a really good deal. Now they got the Tamla labels for these. So yeah, I listened to this just the other day and it sounds really good, so just happy to pick that one up. Next, I think it was last week, Barnes & Noble had, for members, which I'm a member of Barnes & Noble, I get 10% off with my membership card. Last week they had 20% off for members, so it was kind of a sale on everything in the store. So I decided to check out the vinyl section, and I picked up a couple things. First off, I got Eric Clapton Journeyman, however you want to say that. And this is a double album. It's a 2 LP set. And you can see the track listing. And I like here he does a cover version of George Harrison's Run So Far, and it actually features George Harrison on guitar, which is nice. I think this album came out in 1989. I got the hype sticker here. And I got a sheet inside with the lyrics. And they also got some nice labels. They're the same on all four sides, so I'll just show you the one here. Very cool. And these inner sleeves are really heavy duty paper too. That's nice. And the last one for this video, and the last one I picked up recently, was Ringo Starr Bad Boy. Every time I look through the records at the Barnes & Noble that I normally shop at, I keep seeing this album. It's always there, and I keep thinking, maybe I should get it, maybe not. I've passed over it so many times, I figured, you know, this sale is going on, I'm just going to pick it up. It was a good deal. And this is a Friday Music pressing. And we got a gatefold. I don't think the original had a gatefold, but I could be wrong on that. I think this picture was originally on the inner sleeve, maybe. Like I said, I don't have an original, so I could be wrong on that. Then inside they just got a picture of Ringo here. I should show you the hype sticker that was on the front. It's Music for the Cure. Some of the proceeds go to the Gilda Radner Club for cancer support. And it's on clear blue vinyl, which was very cool. And this one comes in clear plastic sleeve as well. So that's pretty much all I've got to show for this video. So I hope everybody enjoyed seeing what I picked up and what Robert sent me. And I just thank everybody out there for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care.